Okay. I think we in the building. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Peace, everybody. Peace, family. How's everybody feeling this evening? I know it's 8:24. Some of y'all it's 9:24. And some of y'all it's the other way around. It's 6:24. But either way, wherever you are on this part of the earth, we welcome you to Hawaii Region 6 media channel. And we got a really good seminar for you. And we also got a good class for you. We got Minister Simney on the track. He's going to bust it down on the thinking game, which is super important, right? And I think a lot of people don't really take the time to really process the way they're thinking because that's the way they've been thinking for so long. They don't think it's, you know, causing them any harm. You know what I mean? So I think the only announcement I wanted to make sure I do mention is that we have the honor ball in December, and then I believe there is a free health seminar in ATL at YG Cafe that Chief is putting on. So it'll be November 23rd, and then the Ramadan ball is in December. So um, on that note, I'm gonna turn it over to you, guys. Oh no, you on mute. You on mute. You on mute.
Y'all hear me?
Can you hear you now?
Here we go. I got one more thing to add. We are having a cacao ceremony or cacao experience in Houston next Wednesday. So 7:30. If you're in Houston, come out. It's actually gonna be same place as we had it last time. High as a kite, Ito, and yeah, definitely come out. We're gonna have cacao provided by Abo She Cacao. So yeah, good time. Y'all make sure y'all show up.
Come through. Come through.
But definitely appreciate everybody that decided to join tonight. Definitely wanted to basically go over how we think. The the premise of all this came from, obviously I've told everyone I have an 8 to 5. So in the background I like to listen to podcasts, just listen to a few different things. And just one of the things that I noticed, especially on Friday, because I attempt to not get on social media until the weekend. Uh, I got on social media. I was listening to a podcast and searching for like the next one. And I just saw this negative stuff. And, when you read some of the comments or just what people post, for me, it was just kind of like, man, like what really goes through people's head? And, it just had me wondering, like, do people really think out here? Um, so, I kind of wanted to come off of my let's teach people about the energy, the planetary energy, and just do something different. So, we're going to touch on Mercury again. We're going to touch on thinking, but kind of want to get a little bit deeper because when I say I've been reading more books and studying a lot, for those that don't know, uh, Dr. Ali Muhammad definitely released a new book recently. And when I tell you the book is top tier, it had me thinking another way. And it was already in the trajectory that I was aligned. Also, for those that don't know, and I know Brother Kojo, you're aware of this, but I actually had changed my lifestyle recently and let go of fully plant based and went fully food science. So, with that being said, I've noticed a lot of changes in my body. So, we're going to talk about that tonight. I do, as always, have a presentation. So, I'm share that um, to make sure that it works because we know how this likes to go sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Um, there it goes. I knew I was gonna do that. All right, we'll just do it this way.
Which way is was it not? It wasn't loading, or was it too big, or what?
So it gave me the whole. You're only allowed so many slides. So
I see.
did it pop up though?
I got it to pop up. As far as, are you sharing your screen or something? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, cool. So again, tonight we labeled the thinking game, strategies for a better life through effective thinking, harnessing thought techniques for personal growth and decisions. So, obviously, for those that may be readers or avid documentary, like love watching documentaries like I do, this is a documentary. It is a book, if you will. And just for any other nerds like myself that are in the AI, basically the founder of Google Alpha, I want to say, is basically the AI team over there at Google. It is a documentary about how they came up with what they came up with. And I've always been fascinated with that title because when you really break down thought, which, is just going to lead me into my next slide, but understanding the power of thought. Thoughts shape your reality. It has an influence on your emotions, and overall, your emotions affect your behavior. So, when I say shape your reality, your thoughts are actually a lot deeper than what most people probably give credit to when it comes down to it. Um, I know for me, I meditate pretty often. And when I say often, I mean it's mandatory. You can ask anyone that knows me. And when I say anyone, we'll just go to my wife because she's the one that has to deal with me every day. But you can ask my wife if I don't meditate that day, which is very rare. But if I don't meditate, you're gonna get a different me. Um, and it's my grounding as a seven of spades, which again we'll do some cosmology tonight. So make sure as we go throughout, you're dropping your birthday in the chat, and we'll pull your birth card, of course. But if you want anything deeper than that, mastertheelements.com. We are here to help people, and one of the things that I would like to do is help you with your thoughts. Me looking at your Mercury card, getting a better understanding of why you possibly are having issues with the way you think, because everyone does think different. And that is due to the way the planets were aligned whenever you were born. But when I say your thoughts shape your reality, literally, if you think it, you're eventually going to speak it, and it becomes like literally becomes your reality. Especially, and shout out to you, brother. If you haven't yet, we have Blue Lotus gummies at She Wave Clinic that are amazing, and they help out. But just any entheogens, Abo She Cacao. We
Mhm.
have cacao that actually taps into, and it's called anandamide because I've been practicing that word. Been reading this book real heavy, but that anandamide or that bliss molecule actually taps into your CB1 receptor, and it helps basically tap into that inner ESP. Depending on how connected you are, of course, could be some other things. Go holler at She Wave Clinic and they can help you out with, getting you cleared up to where you can actually feel all the benefits of the cacao. But just little things like that can help enhance these thoughts and give you that clarity, which again, shout out to Abo Cacao, the emotions. So if you're thinking right, 9 times out of 10, you're like, oh, my emotions are intact. Well, if you're not drinking enough water throughout the day or being in water, or maybe you're a heart by chance, we got to get these emotions going. I know y'all have probably heard, for those that have been on here a few times, my son is a five of hearts. So when I say we're experiencing all the emotions on a regular, but one thing, because my wife and I are aware of that, we really work on that mindfulness. We're practicing breathing with him. We're making sure that he drinks enough water. hell, I'm working on getting them to meditate. So it's things that you have to be aware of. And with your thoughts, you realize that depending on how you're thinking can determine how your emotions are. And then lastly, of course, like we said, the behavioral outcomes. If your emotions aren't in line, if your thoughts aren't in line, then you could be having that bad behavior. And we just want to make sure that you're doing all that you need to do so that you are improving on the outcomes that you may come in with life. So of course we want to cultivate that self-awareness in your thinking patterns. So again, that's why I mentioned go ahead and go to mastertheelements.com and we can help identify those thought patterns. We want to shift that mindset and really tapping into that consciousness. Whenever you're self-aware, you can feel certain things. So I recently just mentioned how I've changed my lifestyle from going 8 years plant-based to no food science. So I started incorporating more salmon, started incorporating bison. And for those who've never had it, because I never had it before literally making that switch, Chilean sea bass is top tier fish. Always make sure it's wild caught. I do want to stress that, but um and I'll take this one from you, brother Kojo. But I don't go out to eat no more. It's literally been 2.5 months of me going out to eat. And I had actually seen again Dr. Ali Muhammad mention something about be mindful and be careful of the people that cook your food. And when you really think about it, unless you know the chef personally in that kitchen or that restaurant that you're going to, you honestly don't know the person that's cooked your food. You don't know the kind of day that they had. You don't know what has gone on in their day. And if they're not doing it with love, you're gonna tell and feel the difference. Obviously, it all depends on how clean and clear you are body wise. But when I tell you that literally it's been 2.5 months of me not really going out to eat anywhere, and I mean, I feel good. I feel great. When I say we had a whole winter weather change here in Houston. And when I tell you that so many people got sick, especially around me, so many people literally you just saw everyone just fall. Me, I'm perfectly fine. And the weather didn't affect me. Matter of fact, every time it was sunny, I went out and enjoyed some good sunlight because for me, though it was cold, I still found the positive in everything, and it felt great to have the sun touch my skin as it always does. But I can identify and I consciously was aware of what was all going on, and things just felt good. And when I tell you I haven't had any stomach aches, no nasal congestion, none of that, no phlegm, all because of the lifestyle choices and just that self-awareness of okay, I'm thinking good, I'm thinking clear, I'm thinking better. And it's even to the point to where at times it's somewhat scary because I don't want to be in certain conversations with certain people. I know one thing that's going on, which obviously it's ended by now, but a lot of people in the election, I mean, they always say, "Oh, don't talk politics," but you hear it around you all day, every day. At least I do. And even in hearing it, everything I heard, in my opinion, came from it seemed like an uneducated point of view. I have a sibling that's actually in the military, and she's affected by it clearly. But even when asked, "Well, do you even know why the shutdown is going on?" Most people don't. Most people don't look into it. And I mean, as we know, last week the whole election went on the fourth, and if you don't know what took place in your state, like what amendments you're voting, like everything matters. Everything is important. Everything it's a pattern and it all leads to something. And I don't think the average person, just from what I've seen, especially hearing complaints or just hearing certain commentary, I just feel like most people aren't putting fully thought. They're just they want to be heard. They want to give an opinion, and unfortunately, if you're not educated, most people probably shouldn't be speaking on it. Just in my opinion. So, definitely want to be aware of what's going on around you. Um, Pay attention to things. I mean, one thing my wife pointed out, and she was right and wrong at the same time, but she pointed out what I don't think most people pointed out. She was like, "I haven't seen a plane, do the whole chemtrails in a long time." And I was like, "Well," I wouldn't say they haven't in a long time. They just got higher. And I don't know if the average person has recognized that, but they just do it at a higher level now versus doing it lower to where you can see it. So, I mean, it's just really paying attention to everything and really thinking about what's going on because all that does play a factor and affect you in some kind of way. So, making sure that you're tapping in with the right people. Thought is the very first thing, and it's actually going to lead to my next slide. Those that are in Arna have obviously seen this chart. But for those that don't know, this is a very imperative and important chart. Um, from the cosmologists to the doctors, this is all. And I mean, Brother Kojo, you definitely correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say even maybe the jurors use it to an extent, but
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because everything begins with a thought. If you think you're not going to win, then you're right.
so everything starts with a thought. And again, I've read the book once. I'm starting it again, but I'm gonna read it slower. Um, and I've listened to the last two videos that dealt with the book that Dr. Ali Muhammad wrote. And when I tell you this makes way more sense reading that book, all things start with thought. When you close your eyes, all you see is black. Um, it's the first thing that you're consciously aware of is blackness. And I actually had a conversation with someone, and they told me that they were blaming God, and I had to basically stop this person and tell them that when you blame God, you're ultimately blaming yourself. And I literally mentally I was seeing this chart as I was talking to this person on the phone, explaining all this to them. And I was breaking down God to them using this chart. But I was just explaining that all things come from thought. So if you can utter your mouth and that was the thing that oh, I just blame God, then you ultimately blamed yourself because all things start here. And I'm moving my mouse as if y'all could possibly see it, but if you can see it, it all starts here in this black thought. And once things start here in the thought, and then those for that are on Instagram, go to Hawaii Region 6 on YouTube. You will see all the slides. And if you can't see it, don't have the time, just catch the replay. The information that we're sharing is going to be information that most people probably haven't heard of because all things again start with thought. If your thoughts on a line from what you've been eating, what you've been reading, what you've been listening to, just everything that you're consuming plays a factor. So when you rest at night, all that is being stored and everything starts here from that. Now, of course, where you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, the one that passion or that energy is starting to be generated and created. So let's just say you open your eyes and you have a passion or the energy, everything's starting to kick in and you're becoming awake. And that's where the passion and energy comes in. And you've probably heard me say it, but something that I love to say, if you think it, you'll speak it, then it shall be. So this is where thinking, it comes here. Speaking, we're here at the communication part. So communication, it comes in many forms. So even if you write it down, if you go out and sing, but that communication comes in, and that's where the oxygen, the clubs, things of that nature. So you're doing that, and the passion, the communication, and all that when it's flowing, boom, your environment plays a big factor. Your emotions, the everything that you need to get things flowing and moving. When you think of the blood in your body, it carries the oxygen and everything to all the organs. So that's where you have number three here. And that environment plays a big factor. Like I'm learning this. And for those that don't have children, just to inform you, when you have children, you'll start seeing how all this plays a factor, because that environment plays a big factor. I've learned and noticed, and I have three children, but who those children are around, that environment will play the biggest factor on how they are as that child, like how they're going to function out here in the world. So it is important that you pay attention to who your child is around and who they're hanging out with and what they're doing on a regular, because that can determine or dictate how your child's going to be, how they're going to interact out here in this world. And it just gets so deep, but it all starts again here in the black, where thought all originates and comes from. But once that water is going and things are flowing and everything's gone, then it becomes a memory. And that's where we get here in number four. Um, with memory, you've learned, or most of the time you're still learning. And if things are right and they're happening again, it can go right back into thought, and it just flows again. And this is where it's another chart that we have called the real bodybuilding, but you see it's a circle. And one thing that I've learned, especially in reading this new book, life is literally cyclical, and it's always going in a circle and a cycle. Um, Without getting too deep here, because I don't want to lose a lot of people, but I mean, again, when I do have my entheogen experiences, I get the ability to see the future, and I'm able to see what's to come. And when you see what's to come, that means you've already lived it. You've already got a taste. You got the experience. I know success is near. I know that it's close. I felt it. I got to see it. And now it's just all about physically getting there, because the thought, I've already been seen and shown it, and somewhat got to feel it. But now I'm ready to actually live it. And I'm just honestly ready to work with any and everybody that's willing to take that step. But even in taking that step, we need you to be in that proper, again, we go back to three, that environment. Those that are around me, and I think someone said it best, on your journey to success, no one tells you how much you're gonna be to yourself. I just got out of my Saturn phase, and when I say Saturn hits you, it makes sure that you sit down and you relax and you don't do much if it's not required for you to do much. And when I say I had to sit down, I mean, brother Kojo, I called you and we had our chat, but I had to sit down.
Right.
And I mean, you gotta listen, you gotta do what's told. And I mean, we'll touch more on that, because everyone's favorite, at least mine, I'll speak for me. Everyone's favorite series is next month, but Ramadan is happening. So with Ramadan, as y'all know, we got the Book of You coming. So, be on the lookout. It's my favorite series. But I'll touch on Saturn when we get to that, because we already spoke on Jupiter. I'm going to give personal experience on Saturn come next month. So, shameless plug. Be on the lookout for that class. And just in that period, in that time, I learned so much. I mean, obviously, the book, it came out during my Saturn phase, and I got to read it during that phase. And I really just honed in on my studies and learned a lot, and really focused on learning what I needed to learn. But it was a tweet that I saw, because I still, or X as they call it, but it was a tweet that I saw, that when you're on your way to success, or, doing the entrepreneur thing, no one tells you how alone you can be at times. And I mean, you will be antisocial. And I mean, I have been, and it's okay because I'm doing it for a bigger purpose. I'm doing it for the household. I'm doing it for the community. I'm doing it for my region. Like, I really want everything that I'm doing and everybody that I'm associated with to win. But it all starts at home. It all starts with you as an individual. And if you don't want it bad enough, then that energy is just gonna cycle, and it's just gonna keep cycling. And I know personally for me, in order for everything else to be the best, I gotta be the best. And I mean, I'm never gonna allow anyone to say that I'm not the best at anything that I do. So just wanted to share this with you. Um you may see this again, but if you haven't, take these classes. I mean, we're they're out there, and this is information that you'll learn in this class. But everything starts with a thought and comes from thought.
You had basically said that you were in that vision and you saw it now, and so people put themselves in the cycle when they're like, yeah, when I do get there, then I'll do XYZ. That's a whole cycle in itself, and you don't want to put yourself in that infinite loop. You want to say that I'm living that now, like in the present moment. And sometimes people may find that hard to grasp. They're like, I don't know what it feels like to have $100,000 in my bank account. Well, there's a couple of ways you could do that. As an example, I'm like trying to give, because that's usually what people focus on, is take an image of your bank account, put some ones and zeros, right, and then visualize it actually seeing when you log into your account like you normally do, and seeing that $100,000 being reflected in your account. And that again goes back into going to the blackness, your thought, you as the observer, the being, you know. So anyway, we'll say that for December. So
And honestly, you said it best because you see it's on my final slide. Empowering through thinking, enhancing that mindset and decision. So mastering your thought, it definitely comes with living that now. Like, for those that played sports, I'm pretty sure you heard, and you didn't always have to play sports, because even those that were in theater or drama, but you practice how you're gonna perform. If you're not practicing like you're performing like it's the actual real thing, definitely rest in peace to D'Angelo. But I read a story recently. They said that they were literally just rehearsing him and the Roots, and Halle Berry came, and when they said she showed up, he performed like it was the actual show. And that's what you got to do. But they said it ended up being probably one of the best performances that they've done. And that's how you have to do it. Like, you have to live life exactly the same way. So you have to live as if you already have it, obviously in a mindful, meaningful way, but envision it, write it down, and meditate on that. Like, that power of thought, when I say it matters, I see it on a regular, like daily, in different people on a regular. When they say, and I used to hear it growing up, grew up in the Baptist church, you got to have the faith of a mustard seed. Well, thought, same way. Any small inkling of doubt, everything else tumbles the same way. So you have to feed and fill that through all the way, and literally treat it like a snowball effect. When they say that snowball, and everyone's seen the image or the cartoon of some sort, whether it was watching Tom and Jerry growing up, and it started out a very small snowball and then turned into this big boulder. That's how thought is, the same exact way. So any inkling of doubt, as that's rolling down the hill, it's either going to be a big ball of success, or it's going to be a big ball of failure. And it happens every time. I mean, I can openly admit, because back in the day when I was buying shoes all the time, If I thought and knew that I was gonna win, and there's a difference. I knew I was gonna win those shoes. Got those shoes. But those small moments of doubt for some shoes, and it's a lot of shoes that I actually didn't get. But those small moments of doubt, I didn't get them. But literally, there was 3 times in a row of bidding on shoes, and I got those shoes all 3 times in a row. And every time I told my friend, they was like, "Man, how? No one just went. You sure you don't have a bot?" No, it's the power of thought. So literally every inkling of success that you see, feel that, breathe that, live, treat it as if it's already happened, and know that okay, that mindset that I'm enhancing right now is gonna affect my overall well-being, decision making, my life every day. That small inkling of doubt, anybody that has it, you will see it. And again, I'm gonna shamelessly plug myself, but this is what my website looks like, mastertheelements.com. So if you go here, you can read about the services. Insights is just a few blogs, which I'm actually going to update a lot of that and get a lot of these thoughts out because, I mean, the content, the information that I was seeing, it's so much negativity out there. And obviously, I know it's all about what you subscribe to, but even in some of the things that I've seen that could be positive, it was still a lot of negative in it, unfortunately. Things can be better and things can be good. And it's just all, when I say it starts with you, I genuinely, truly mean that. And once you get self right, get the household right. For those that aren't in relationships or couples, then cool. Things may seem a little bit easier. Once they become a little bit easier, sure, now let's get out in community and let's build. Let's get with a team. Let's get together. I mean, the shutdown should have been the best example for everybody. You had all kinds of people. I mean, especially those that complain about food stamps. What do you need the food stamps for when you can go outside and grow your own food? Like I know here in Houston, we have the most amazing organic fruit and veggies that you can get at from a group called the Fruit Family. They have watermelon that they bring on a truck. They get grapes, seeded grapes. And when I say like it's the green and the purple, and then they they get muscadines, like you name it, they're getting dragon fruit. They're getting all kinds of different fruits and veggies. There's no excuse for anyone to get all this stuff. Like there's fresh produce out there that you can get that's better for you. So it's just kind of like you have to stop complaining and more doing. My mom always told me growing up, complaining gets you nowhere. So that's one thing I promise you, at least for me as an individual, you'll never hear me complain because at the end of the day, that's just something that was embedded in me. And I know my mom didn't mean it in a negative way or a bad way, of course, because when she said it, she just said it kind of like in passing as she was like saying everything else. But it's something that stuck with me. And when we talk, you know, when she asked, "Well, how are you, son?" And I'm just like, "Well, I could complain, but I know you always said like complaining gets you nowhere." And she's like, "Yeah, it's because it doesn't." And I was just like, "I know, mom. I remember." So with that being said, it's something that stuck. But yeah, it may make you feel good in that moment. But what are you doing about it? Like honestly, what are you doing to make your situation or that moment better? Because the difference in those that are successful versus those that, man, I have all these great ideas and this thought and that thought, they're actually doing it. So it's really about, are you doing the work that you're thinking about, that you're talking about, that you're jotting down? You have to actually do the work. It that's is really it. Like nothing gets going unless you do it. You can sit, think, and write and have all the best ideas all day, but if you aren't physically, tangibly bringing them to life, it's not gonna happen and it won't happen. So we got to get to work. And if you feel like it's not something you can do, sure, have the idea, but go to someone that you know that does it. And that's the beauty of community. I know if I need something with help, like especially I'm not the legal expert. I dabble, but I know I can reach out to my brother here. So at the end of the day, it's just like, all right, I know I'm not the best with this or that. Cool, let me go talk to my brother. If I need help, I'm not the top cosmologist, so I go to a brother
Yes, you are.
Yogi.
What you talking about?
I go to a brother Yogi whenever I stumble a little because I'm still always learning. So,
You, you
but
you you always learning, but you still a top. You should even if this is how I see it. Right, you're still a top cosmologist, regardless.
yes, yes, yes,
Now, that's I'm not even about to explain it. You should know what I mean by that.
yes, brother, definitely, definitely. And I worded it wrong, but I'm just in the help. You lean on community, and
Yeah,
I lean on my brothers for any advice that I may need at the end of the day. And don't be afraid to ask for that advice or that help just because that's what community is for. My brothers all help me no matter what it is, and I'm gonna do as much as I can and help them. So that's where that community comes in for those that feel like, oh, I just can't do it. But sisters, sisters, get with sisters. You have to, because at the end of the day, women help women. Don't go to, oh, my play brother and is it, no. Go to sisters. Sisters help sisters. Brothers help brothers. That's where we have in Arna we have SOS and we have DOS, and we lean on those. So at the end of the day, it's just like if you feel like you can't do it by yourself, lean on community. And if you don't have community, find community. Because right now, these are those moments for that. So again, I mean, especially I know I have mastered the elements, but Amaru Koala states we're here to help community build. Again, for those that are in Houston, next Wednesday we're having Sacred Bloom Experience. I got with two sisters, and literally we're here to help the community, and we do it with cacao. So cacao, sound healing, and you get a cosmology reading from me. So at the end of the day, these are community events that we're putting together to help the community. So come out and come learn, come build. I'm your brother. I'm here to help. That's what it's all about. So that's my slides.
we do have some birth. We do have a birthday in the chat. I'll show it on the screen. I believe that's a Queen of Hearts across the board.
729.
Queen of Hearts and then a Queen of Spades. The last one.
Leah Queen of Hearts for 729. So Queen of Hearts, that is, and we got the Queen of Hearts expert yourself, but that is the nurturing partner. In dysfunctioning, that's giving too much energy to others. And I know I mentioned that I would give, and here, because I know I got multiple screens going here. So I'm gonna give you a Mercury because I really want you to get that thinking going.
Mercury for the Queen of Hearts is a 10 of clubs, right?
10 of clubs. So 10 of clubs, we're gonna have teacher, but I'll read verbatim: public speaking, teacher, successful group studies, group communication, transformative knowledge. Dysfunction is destructive speech, unwanted exposure of thoughts, words to the public, and over talking others in the group. Again, as we kind of touched on community building, I mean that's something you probably already think anyways, but definitely leaning into that because that support, you have that entrepreneur mindset. You probably are one that wants to empower groups of people to do and to be entrepreneurs and do better. So definitely check into that. If you want a deeper, better understanding, of course, kind of master the elements, and yeah, we'll get you going there.
I think something to also to add to that is that as far as like where this person's birthday, given that this is a Leo, Queen of Hearts, Mr. Um, there's a life force that's in you that you can actually instill hope to people. You can give life to people. People feel warmth around your energy. And sometimes, and you have to always keep in mind that you're always going to have to keep your pool clean on a daily basis. Like you're going to have to, rise again and then, clean again. You're going to have to rise again. You're going to clean again. And it's this cycle of energy that you're going to always have to always keep in balance and keep in flow. Because there is something that you have that represents hope and just possibilities, and it's just life, a life force, water. You know what I mean? But tied in with the sun. So anyway,
And that breathing, I mean, that if you ever feel cloudy, can't think as right, definitely get that breathing going. So I mean that helps out big time.
yes, sir.
That and we kind of touched on it as well, with that support being that Jack of Diamonds. Watch what you consuming, getting outside and touching the ground. So just a few gems there.
Few gems. So we hopefully that was helpful for you. I know this person said they rarely go. I'm telling y'all, like, have y'all know, like, when you go, like, there's a difference between when somebody who actually loves you and they make a meal for you versus a random stranger. It tastes horrible.
It does. It does. And I mean, I remember because it was the first swing that we did, and you had mentioned that you was like, I'm good. I'll just wait till I get home. And I was just thinking the whole time, I was like, man, I was like, we're not in a fasting period right now, and brother just fasting, like, and traveling. Nah, I was like, so you sure you don't? I'm good. I'll just eat when I get home. And I was just like, and that stuck with me. So obviously I attempted while I was plant based, but you already can't eat a lot of places plant based, so it's just like it ain't nothing.
Right.
But I really noticed the difference because I attempted someone else's bison burger and it was okay. I mean, it was
Yeah.
okay. It just wasn't the same. It wasn't like my wife's.
Yeah.
And literally, I noticed the difference because I went to that same place and tried it again after my wife has made the bison burger, and I was like, all right, if my wife ain't making it, I don't want it.
Right.
So that's just where I'm at with it. If I'm not cooking, my wife isn't cooking. I'm trying to think. I haven't had no one else cooking outside of you and your wife's like cooking, obviously, but I don't really want it. I'm just being honest.
They
I
have
know.
they have to have that love energy when they making the meal, man. Because if you got somebody who don't want to even cook, it's about to taste bad, man. Like
I
across the
need
board.
to feel the love and know the love is there. And I actually the chef I was telling you about, that we've been wanting to work with and stuff that's out here in Houston, they're
Yeah.
having something, and I mean, I obviously could trust their food just because I mean he's a chef and he puts his heart into it. So it's just like, I could trust him and I'm sure it'll be great. But obviously you mentioned bison and I was like, oh, I'm there. So
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
But ever since that stuck with me, but I've been practicing that for the past 2 months, and yeah, it's a difference.
Telling you, man. So that's good that romantic wives, you're doing the exact same thing. So, All right, we just make sure we greet everybody.
All
Yo,
right. Peace, peace.
y'all in the building. And then that's right. Seems there's never a moment that one can fail. Find something they could. People will complain about anything.
They will. I
And,
definitely know people that will.
and they do it all the time. And I'll be like, what the fuck are you complaining about?
Yeah, I got a family member. That's all that family member does, and it's just kind of like, So obviously, when I get called out, you ain't called me in a while, but yeah, it's kind of because that's all you do is complain when I do talk to you. So, and when I say I know there's other family members that said the same thing about this family member, and it's just like, hey, that's their MO. So,
And that's cool. That's what I say. Y'all just, whoever is complaining, y'all just stay over there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I stay away from those people.
someone say this isn't about the food. Hey, I mean, people, and that's the thing. Like, so I'll just tell people this. When I first got in the tribe and got my name reading, one thing that stuck out, and I know that I say it a lot too. I say the word I know, but it says that my card is the knower. So there is a difference between thinking and knowing. And one thing about me is, sure, I know, but I also want that confirmation that I know. So a lot of times, even though I know, I still want the confirmation. And I'm gonna get the confirmation most of the time. And yeah, I know that love, that energy, all that plays a factor when it comes to that food. So yeah, I mean, watching where you get it from, who you buy it from, how they're feeling when they do it. Actually, I spoke to Chef Ryan about it the other day, and I just asked him. I was like, "Man, let me look at your Mars card." And without giving away too much information, I read his Mars card, and he was like, "No, that's me to the T." And I was just like, "Yeah, I figured like for you to be a chef and to say that you're kind of obsessed with cooking like that, that means blah blah blah." And it was just like, "Yeah, pretty spot on." So shout out to Chef Ryan. Great brother. We've been having some great conversations lately. So.
Yes, sir. It's a great brother. So, hold on. What you say? Like food, like with everything.
Yeah, no, that's facts, brother.
That's basically what I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all. When you deal with somebody who don't love their life, and then on top of that, like, oh yeah, you want something to eat? I can make you up something real quick. They really don't like, and they're just upset, and they're making the food. It could be the exact same way you did it, or you would do it at home, and it tastes nasty. The energy is in the food.
And I
Their
say
emotions are in the food.
experiment with it. And you know what? For those that haven't read it, read the book The Power of Sex, because it is actually a scientific thing. Pheromones. You're breathing, whether you realize it or not, over the food, and that scent and all that is definitely going all into the food. So
Mhm.
energetically, it's going there, and you're gonna taste and notice the difference. So I don't know if you've ever been around somebody that's angry, but the temperature, they're hotter or they're usually sweating or whatever, but the heat in them rises. Like it's a scientific thing. Versus somebody that's calm, cool, collected. I mean, I can go outside and it could be 1,000 degrees, but I feel fine. Whereas somebody that's angry, mad, and they go outside, man, it's hot. I'm like, it's not that hot. Yeah, it is, and blah blah blah. Why you not hot, blah? I mean, I feel fine personally, but I'm calm, collected, controlled. Whereas that person, because they're already angry and out of control, their temperature is already out of whack. So they're them going in the hot, it's gonna be times 10 for them. So
Mhm.
or vice versa with the cold. So you notice a difference.
Major difference.
They're breathing different. It's a science. Like it goes all the way down to the science.
What other birthdays y'all got? Other comments, anything like that? Y'all have questions? We're gonna dive deeper in December.
Oh yeah.
223. Ah, Mr. Wahali.
223 is a two of diamonds. That's funny because that was my support card for yesterday. But cooperative business, financial practice, sharing wealth, uniting resources with partners. Dysfunction is overdependence on finance, using partners to get money. Their support is a jack of spade or Mercury, excuse me, is a jack of spades. So as we know, that's the ultimate entrepreneur. So creative work activity, creative, innovative willpower, spiritual initiative, youthful pursuit of wisdom. Dysfunction is going to be gambler, thief, money grabber, clever business, shyster, scandals, all the bad stuff. So when it comes to your thoughts, your Mercury, there's a certain willpower. That support is a nine of clubs. So with that nine of clubs, you have the universal knowledge, and you combine that with that pursuit of wisdom. Combining that, I mean, it can be unstoppable. And that's what it's all about. Using that willpower, that ball of fire. I mean, you already got the air, breathing the oxygen into the fire. So it's all about getting it going, those thoughts flowing. If you ever feel like you're at a funk and you just can't really think, get into some breathing techniques. Write it down. Go outside and yell real quick. Like really get it out, because that's where that support comes in, that 9 o'clock support, to get the fire going and jumpstart it. And then once that fire is going, like literally just get to work and get it going.
And I think a new thing that people probably been seeing from Chief, but
The full
today, your fulcrum, that stuff is important, y'all. Anyway, you're gonna see a lot of more. Anyway, we'll talk more about that.
yeah. Next month's gonna be beautiful. I'm like I said, it's my favorite series, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's mine too. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, I know you like, man, it's a teaser, right? MasterLMS.com. That's where you need to go. Present. Hey, peace, guy. You in the building. You know, you got your delivery on the way, man. You're gonna see some notifications in the next couple of days. So what questions you got? You got throw out your birthday. Your birthday's coming up soon, guy. You're a December baby. So yeah, what else y'all got? Questions, comments.
Yeah, those clarity. They are some great individuals. No, plenty. I get outside early and move my body before Sunday. Already. Yeah, and that's another thing. When I tell you I've been ultimately disciplined, structure, and really just constant moving and going on a regular for the past 2.5 months, like I notice and feel a difference. All in a small, simple lifestyle change. I mean, I'm not gonna say who would have thought, because obviously I've been hearing it and I had to finally let it go. But
Yeah.
letting go plant-based and doing things fully to I mean, I noticed that difference in it was less than 2 months, but I'm finally starting to speak about it because we're coming up on 90 days, and I love how I feel, and I don't ever wanna lose this feeling. So, I'm speaking about it more, I'm gonna talk about it more, I'm gonna let the public know about it more, but keeping that going, like, I do my push-ups, sit-ups every morning, squats, all that, like, quick little workout, and yeah, I mean, I'm consistent with it. I don't again, told everybody I do not if I don't know you, I'm not eating your food. Is that I know there's a lot of potlucks coming up and all this other I'm not eating your food. Not
it's,
gonna happen.
that's
So
it's true though. I mean, that's always been my principle for a long time. Oh, somebody's house. They be like, oh yeah, let me fix you something real quick. It's cool. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
yeah. Like honestly, I could get this way. So we had a meeting, Aboshi Cacao, and the reason our cacao is just that much better, the love that they put into it.
Mhm.
Like it's different. I mean, I've been consistently having cacao literally since the top of the year. I've been heavy into it. And when I say, and I mean, obviously, most people, oh, you're just saying because it's your company. I promise you, I've noticed a difference. There's maybe one brand that may, and I highly doubt it just because, I mean, I know where ours come from, but
Right.
there's only one brand that may be close to ours that gave me the same effect. Nothing's touching our cacao. Nothing. So that Aboshi cacao, if you haven't had it yet, go to the website, go and order a bag. You gonna get it, and it's amazing. Like I'm drinking it right now. It's what's in my mug. So December 1st at Four Diamonds. I will tell you that. Four Diamonds, financial security, hard work to establish strong economic base, financial organizers, stable earners. Dysfunction is going to be rigidity, excessive frugalness with finances, lacking variety, flexibility in money making, and carelessness with wealth. As far as your two of spades is your Mercury, which is basically shared work partnership. So the active friendship card, business partners, cooperative work, unexpected, and that's my key card. But dysfunctions, over dependency upon work partners, giving away willpower to friends or partners. With your support, you got that Jack of Clubs. So kind of like what we mentioned to Brother Wahali earlier. Um, and is going to be a slight difference, but you're gonna need to get into that breathing if there's a funk. And literally, once you get in, whether it's writing, breathing, whatever you need to do to activate that partnership card. And when I say active, I'm giving you an example because it is my key card and it is my character card. I was a person I was like, oh, I don't need to work in groups. I don't need to work with nobody. I'm tired of working with people. Nah, you got you got to work with people. Go talk with somebody and talk with somebody that has a business mindset or an entrepreneur kind of spirit. And literally, you'll notice that difference in that communication and get it going. Obviously, you want to make sure it's somebody that is of like mind with you. So if you come get a reading at Master Elements, I can tell you who your mutual Mercuries are. Hell, maybe even your mutual Mars, just simply because you want that passion, especially with your Mercury being a spade card. You want that passion to get going. So
I think that another thing that will also help you To just kind of, you know, strengthen what Cindy is saying is that you're four diamonds, right? Misnomer ruled by, Sagittarius, I think, right? So there is a element of abundance that really should be dominant in your mind and how you live your life. And that abundance will kick in Jupiter. Jupiter will give you that expansion. You'll have lucky windfalls when you're connecting creatively with different people, right? You know how normal people are, oh, I don't know how to, creatively meet people. Well, you naturally should be able to know how to do that based off of just 12-1 and the four of diamonds and the placement. So think about that and just how you're going to incorporate. But really, the mindset that you should have is abundance in all facets. So
Definitely said it best. And kind of like we talked about earlier, that food.
yeah,
Watching what you consuming. That's one thing about all diamonds. If you're not eating right, that wealth is definitely not gonna go where it needs to.
you sowing the wrong seeds, digging up coal.
Literally. I'm telling y'all, if y'all haven't been listening to literally what Chief Ali's been mentioning earlier, when I say everything is connected, I literally mean everything is connected. That book, it's amazing. I mean, in one read and then listening to both videos that he's basically done on the book, it's just like, man, like I don't think people are really just paying attention. And then what's funny is because I sent brother Yogi an article earlier. Uh they're trying to make chips, like computer chips, utilizing light. And I laughed when I saw it because I was like, I swear, someone hacking into his computer, like basically just they hear. I mean, obviously, the technology does it, but it's just funny to see that it seems like every time that man says something in the public, you start seeing it, and you're seeing it quicker now. Whereas in the past, he may have just posted on Facebook, and then you probably saw it months later. But now it's like, nah, he just said this 2 weeks ago. Now it's out in the news, and they're trying to make chips out of it.
In game, they're always listening. So it's crazy. So, but information is never lost, right?
Never, never. It's stored, and I had to break this down to someone the other day, because we were talking about death, and I had to pull a chief and just mention, you know, gas and like just mention that to him and break that down to him to kind of help ease the situation. Because I'm not. I always tell people don't come talk to me about death in any kind of way, because I'm not the best person to explain it, but I'm able to now grab out the ether what's needed just to share. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Gotta disrupt. It's the king of clubs way. So, what else, y'all? What else y'all got? What other questions y'all got? We at the top of the hour. So, whatever questions y'all want to have, y'all want to chit chat, we could do this all night. That's what y'all want to do.
And like literally, actually went a lot easier than I thought it would. I'm actually proud of myself because I luckily I drank the cacao. That helped because I know when I talked to you about the topic not too long ago, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, do it. Nah, the delivery was a lot better than I felt it would have been.
Oh, good. I mean, keep it simple. You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
you know, it resonates with you. You know.
I see so much ignorance, and it's why I actually only get on social media on the weekends. Like I can't do that every day, all day. I mean, I just can't. I don't see how people do it all day. I don't.
Shit. I mean, you got to think about it. Like, um, your phone, right? Your laptop is an extension of your consciousness, right? So you can filter your algorithm to suit or whatever you're trying to do or trying to accomplish actualize, but you have to filter it. And
Yeah,
so most people are filtered what exactly they're getting and experiencing in real time, right? They're looking at big booty bitches. So yeah, big booty. Excuse my language, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah.
I get it. I mean, you gotta remember, I got line brothers. I was in a fraternity, so you know, when I hear certain combos, I'm just like, dang, that's all you care about.
But that's literally, if you go to their phone, that's what it is.
Yeah, and it's just like, hey, I mean, hey, if that's what help you sleep at night.
So filter your algorithm, y'all. Like that's also a part of, because what you see is what you think about, what you speak about, and then what you get.
Yeah,
So
and I spend I spend my time outside and thoughts, and honestly, I mean, I'm telling y'all, having children, and Eddie Murphy said it best. For those who haven't, little shameless plug. Eddie Murphy has a documentary on Netflix, pretty damn good. Can't even lie. Um, he has a part in there where he starts getting like real spiritual, and I was just
mhm.
like, oh, would have never known this about Eddie because he's so private. Come to find out, the man's a five of spades. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's a big connection there, but it also made sense why he got so many children. Like it started making sense when I started looking at his cards. But he's actually from the acting to the singing to the directing, I'm sure that he's done, like that five of spades energy just made sense and why he just always was transit. And I mean, him to be able to play multiple characters, like I mean, it all just correlated. And I was like, man, when you learn cosmology, you start looking at things completely different. But it just made me appreciate him. Like I had a part where they talked about Charlie Murphy. I kind of felt it, and then just the children's part and what he said about it was true. When you have children, you really live life differently, and you don't live life for you no more. And I mean, I play with all three of my children. My youngest, and just seeing it seemed like he was just born yesterday because it does feel like that, but time has flown by, and just
Yeah.
seeing his progression is amazing. Like, and I've seen it with all the other two, but I don't know why it just feels different with this third one. Not saying I'm done, but also not saying I'm having more, but that's just I'm appreciating the present. So
Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing. So you're living a great, great example. You know what I mean? Because that's a big, big leap. You know what I mean? Because you're responsible for another life. You know what I mean? Now you.
and it's four. So my wife, my wife and three children. That's four people. I mean, if you want to include the dogs, you can include them, but I don't
I mean,
shameless plug. If anybody want two dogs, let me know. I got you. You can have
You're fucking shit.
just saying.
Oh man. Anybody else got any questions, comments? Otherwise, we can close it out tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, if no questions, We appreciate y'all's time and attention to the, class and seminar with Minister Simi. And if you have any questions, you can contact him through mastertheelements.com. His ministry is always on the prowl and always working to serve the community. So don't forget about the cacao ceremony that they're having
On the
next
19th, next Wednesday.
next Wednesday. So in Houston, Texas, if you're in Houston, Texas, pull up, and we'll see you guys either on Tuesday or Wednesday. Might be both days. So otherwise, we out here, fam. We appreciate y'all's time and attention. So we'll see y'all next time. Peace. We out.